Hi dear students, welcome back to computer science class. We have already completed our first chapter, data representation and Boolean logic. In data representation we have learned number systems and its conversions, and in Boolean logic we have learned logic diagrams, logic circuits, as well as logic gates. And now it's high time to look at our most important, the core topic in plus 1 plus 2. It's all about Python programming or programming in Python. And just before heading to the topic in detail, I'd like to give you a brief on Python programming. Actually, we can describe Python programming language in three terms. That is the most popular, the most widely used and simplest programming language ever created, right? That is the most popular programming language we are using for the current scenario, and it's one of the most commonly used as well, most widely used, and of course the simplest, the most easy programming language, because it consists of commonly used English word. That's it, okay? And it has limited syntax, of course. So it makes all these features make this Python programming language the most commonly used. Okay, then we can see the application of Python programming language in various aspects of trending technologies of computer science, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, big data, all those kind of things, right? In addition to general programming, general normal software designing. Okay, we can see the application of Python in almost all walks of computer programming. So let's move on to the topic, and here is our first chapter in plus 1, getting started with Python. And in this chapter we will mainly look at what actually Python is, the features of Python, advantages of Python, how to start with Python, how to start coding, and of course how to work with the interface, okay, GUIs. Yeah, so these are the topics, of course the basic topics. So let's move on to the topic. So the first chapter is getting started with Python, and of course you know what a computer is. Computer means computer is an electronic machine that can accept, store, process and gives result based on set of instructions given by the user. We can avoid the first 2 or 3 terminologies, but the last term, based on set of instructions provided by the user, is important for us. Okay, in a programming concept, we are the one giving instruction, right? We are the one giving instruction to a computer for performing any task, because computer, being a machine, has no capacity to think on its own, has no capacity to have a decision, to make a decision on its own. Okay, so computer, we know it's a versatile machine in the sense it can perform various functions, variety of jobs. Okay, yes, so it is a versatile machine, performs millions of instructions per second, millions of instructions in second. And when we consider high-end machines or supercomputers, it can perform billions or trillions of instructions per second. We are talking about normal machines. Okay, yes. Then it can, being a machine, it can neither think or make decision. It cannot think on its own, or it cannot getting into a decision or making a decision on its own. Okay, so here comes the importance of program or programming. Actually, what is a program? Program is a set of instructions written in sequence to solve a particular task. Okay, it is a set of instructions written in sequence, one by one, or in linear fashion, line by line. That is what linear is. Okay, sequential is, yeah, to solve a programming problem or to solve a particular task. Okay, actually through programming or through programming language, we are instructing the machine what to do. We know why programming is important, because computer has no capacity to think its own, computer has no capacity to produce results on its own, so we have to instruct the machine what to do, how to do, all those kind of things. So here comes the relevance of programming language. Okay, yeah. So before programming, just before heading to the programming concept, programming aspect of solving a problem, we have to understand the problem well, right? We have to understand the problem well. That's the first step. We have to analyze it. After understanding, we have to analyze it, in which all ways we can solve it. That's what analyzing is. Okay, after that we can solve the problem in logical manner. We must have computational thinking. Here comes the importance of computational thinking. Okay, so we have to solve the problem in logical manner. Why it's logical? Because we have to reduce the number of steps, then only we can save memory. When we save memory, what happens is automatically it will be executed faster, right? It will execute faster, in a faster rate. So that is what the steps to be followed while solving a problem. before programming, we have to understand the problem very, very well. Okay, we have to understand the problem well. After that, after understanding the problem, we can have solutions. Okay, we can have number of solutions, right? We can derive number of solutions out of the what problem after understanding the problem well. Then that is what analyzing is, and after that we can have what logical thinking, or using computational thinking we can solve it in a logical manner. Okay, logical way. Yes. And programming means it's a what process of writing program. Okay, it is a process of writing program, and we know there are around 45 plus languages available in computer programming world, and we are studying, we are learning, we are going to learn Python programming. Okay, and we know the other programming language like C, C++, Java, what Python, C#. There are a number of languages available. Okay, so here in our syllabus we have Python programming language. So let's move on to Python, the fundamental aspects, the basics of Python. Okay, yes. Why Python? Why Python? Why we are learning Python? Because it is, Python is name of reptile, right? Like snake. You know why such a name, Python? Because we can derive, it's our interpretation, of course. It is somewhat very flexible, right? Snakes are so flexible. So the language itself is so flexible. The language is also so flexible, very easy to learn. Okay, yes. So a reptile Python language is also flexible. Okay, a snake Python language itself is also flexible, easy and simple. Easy and simple. The reptile Python may not be that easy and simple, but language is very easy and simple, easy to learn and simple. Okay, yes. Then we know it's an open source, object oriented, high level programming language. What do you mean by open source? It's an open source programming language. That is why we can see a number of versions available of Python programming. Okay, a number of improvements are added to Python programming on daily basis. We can see the improvements, right? Okay, so it's an open source. Open source means open source softwares are softwares which are provided with what the actual source code for the user. Okay, we can go watch or view the source code, we can edit it, we can modify the source code, we can redistribute it. Okay, we can redistribute the software after having modification to the society or to the community, but the condition is we must have a license agreement provided by Free Open Source Software Foundation. Okay, Open Source Software Foundation. So okay, having that license, after having that license you can go for all these modifications and redistribution. Okay, anyway source code is available. Source code is available for free to modify. Okay, free to redistribute. Okay, then it's an object oriented. Object oriented programming is a programming concept. Actually there are two programming concepts. Okay, methodologies, procedure oriented and object oriented. In procedure oriented we mainly give importance to the procedure, the way of doing things. Okay, but in object oriented programming we give importance to what? The data. Yes, in real time we give importance to data. Okay, other than what? The procedure, the way of doing things. Okay, here in programming, in object oriented programming we give main importance to data other than procedure. We give main importance to data other than doing things. Okay, other than performing operations on things. We can perform operations in any way, right? But the ultimate importance should be given to the data. In real world also we are giving importance to data. Actually we are using softwares. We are developing softwares just to just to process data, right? We can have number of ways to perform operations. So it doesn't matter, but the ultimate importance should be given to the data. Okay, yes, data is vital. That's it. So it's an object oriented programming language, and of course it's a high level programming language. You know what actually high level programming language is? In high level programming language we can see the composition of English words. Okay, in a very large quantity. Yeah, we can see we are developing programs, or in programming languages we can see English. We are using English, commonly use English words. Okay, for constructing or for programming. That's what high level programming language is. Actually there are three programming languages: high level, assembly language and machine learning. You know what machine language is? Machine language is a language consists of zeros and ones. Okay, anything can be interpreted and understood by only by means of what? Zeros and ones. So it won't be that easy for us. So that's why we have high level programming language. Okay, yes, assembly language lies in between high level and low level. It is medium. Okay, yeah, we don't go for assembly language. Okay, yes. Our language is high level programming language. Anyone having a common understanding of English can learn high level programming language. Okay, yeah. Then development. Who is the father of Python? It is Guido van Rossum. Okay, Guido van Rossum is the father of Python, who was the one developed Python programming language in 1961. Okay, yeah. Okay, then at National Research Institute of maths. Okay, yes. So it was developed by Guido van Rossum in 1991 at National Research Institute of Maths, Netherlands. Okay, National Institute of Research, National Institute of Mathematics, Netherlands, and it's owned by Python Software Foundation, PSF. Okay. It was developed by the father of Python programming languages, Guido van Rossum, who was developed in the year 1991 at National Institute of Mathematics, National Research Institute of Mathematics, Netherlands, and owned by Python Software Foundation. Okay, then it's based on ABC language. It was a language. Okay, actually Python was developed from ABC language and ABC from basics. Okay, basic, yeah. Then it's a general purpose programming language. I've already told you, it's not only used for general purpose. It can be used for high-end programming, like in artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, data science, all those kind of trending technologies in computer science as well. Okay, not only for general purpose, but anyway, we can say what it's a general purpose programming language. Yes. Now let's look at the features of Python. You can see actually we have 8 points, 8 specific points, and all these points make Python programming language the most commonly used, the most popular, the most simple language ever created. Okay, let's look at one by one. The first, interactive, interpreted, directly executed with pre-compiled code, processed at runtime. We can look at each point. Okay, the first, interactive. Actually, at the time of doing what Python programming, at the time of executing, you can see it seems to be somewhat interactive. Okay, it may give you instructions, it may give you color coding, it may give you what the errors in such an interactive way. Okay, such a user-friendly way. So we can call it as interactive. Okay, yes. Then interpreted. Actually, there are 2 ways to execute programs. Okay, in using computer languages. One is compiling, the process called compiling. The second is interpreting. Okay, there are 2 softwares called compiler and interpreter. If Python uses interpreter other than compiler, C++ or C uses compiler. Okay, the source code will be executed at a time. Okay, or means all the lines will be executed at a time, and the first step is in compilation. The first step is the source code, C or C++ source code will be converted to machine language. Only after that it will be getting executed. Okay, there we have an intermediate step, that is the source code will be converted to machine language, and this machine language is getting executed. But in interpreter, what happens is it is executed line by line, one by one. Okay, line by line. And here what the advantage is, there won't be that intermediate step of converting to machine code. Okay, Python codes are directly being executed. Okay, these are not converted to machine language and then it's getting executed. Here it's not like that. Here the process is the first and last. The Python code will be directly executed to machine, not to machine, will be executed. Okay, to get the result. Yeah, Python codes are directly executed to get the result. That's what interpreter language is, and directly executed with pre-compiled code. Okay, pre-compiled code means processed at runtime. Pre-compiled code means the codes which are processed at runtime. Okay, here that's the first point. Second point, it's an object-oriented programming language. As I've already told you, object-oriented programming means we take model from the real world, right? Or we give importance to data. We perform or we use softwares just to perform operations on data, right? So that means we do need data. We give importance to data. Data is vital. Data is very important. So software is just used to perform data. We have different ways of performing operations on data, right? Yes. So operations are not that important. Operations are just used to perform to work on data. That's it. Okay. So data is vital. Data is important. Then keywords, English like structure, easy to learn. Okay. Some of the connecting aspects. Yeah. It uses keywords. Okay. Python uses a number of keywords. Keywords means already defined word. Okay. Or we can say reserved words. Okay. Then English like structure. We know almost all high level programming consists of languages consist of commonly used English words. Okay, uses commonly used English words. Yeah. Then it's easy to learn. Of course, it's easy to learn. Then it's a free open source. It's an open source software. All right, it's an open source language. Okay. Then it's portable. You know what portability is? Portability in the sense we can easily transfer one thing that from one end to another end. Okay, for example, Python is portable. It means suppose we have written Python code in one platform, and we can easily transfer that Python code from that platform to another platform. That means that operating system to another operating system. Okay, and one condition is there must not be any change. Okay, at the time of bringing source code from one place to another place, and after reaching the destination or the other place, there won't be any change happening. Okay, if there is any change happening, it's not a part of portability. Okay, it is what, not portability. Portability means without any change we can easily transfer one Python code from one place to another place, okay, without any change. That's the point. Then less time to develop. Okay, plus we can say, yeah, in Python, Python concept huge library, vast library. Okay, it has such a huge library, support of such a huge library, so programming makes very easy. Okay, because almost all the things are already defined, we just have to use it. You must know what how to use it, right? What to use it, and in which all situations you want to use it. That's it. Okay, almost all things are defined. Yes. Then less time to develop programs. Okay, Python takes less time to develop programs, almost we can say 3 to 4 times shorter than Java programs, equivalent Java programs. Okay, so what makes it very fast developing? Because so many things are already available, you don't have to define it again, so we can execute, or we can develop it faster. Okay, yes. Then fifth point, extensible or extendable and highly efficient, no time wastage declaring variables. It is extensible, meaning Python code, suppose we have 10 lines, we can add 15 more lines. Okay, extensible meaning we can improve, we can extend. Yes, extensible and highly efficient. Of course we know it's highly efficient, and no time wastage, because almost all the things are defined, we have to just use it. Okay, so there is no time wastage, plus time wastage on declaring variables. Here in Python we don't have to declare variables. Okay, at the time of implementing you will get the concept clearly. Okay, yes. Now just for the time being, you just understand what no time wastage in declaring variables. Okay, yes. Then GUI and garbage collection. GUI stands for graphical user interface, right? That's interface through which we are interacting with the the software, or with the platform, or with the language. Okay, language itself. Yeah. Then garbage collection, it's a part of memory management. Okay, it's a part of memory management. Unused memory should be collected to make available next time. Okay, unused memory must be made available to make it free to for making available next time for another use or another purpose. Okay, that's what garbage collection is. Yeah. Then compatible with other languages. Okay, it's highly compatible with other languages like C, C++, Java. Okay, yes. Then scientific and non-scientific programming. It's used for both scientific as well as non-scientific programming. Scientific programming as well as non-scientific programming. And we can, as we have, I've already told you, it's used as general purpose language as well as high-end programming language. Okay, using AI, ML. Okay, all those kinds of stuff. Yeah. So these are the features of Python. Interactive, interpreted, directly executed, object oriented, free, open source, portable, and large library, less time for development, extensible, extendable, or yeah, GUI and garbage collection, compatible with other language, scientific and non-scientific purposes we are using it. Okay, so yeah, okay, so we can let's have a quick revision on these topics. Okay, yes. Computer is a versatile machine, but it has no capacity to think its own. It has no ability to make decisions. Okay, get into a decision. So we have to give instructions to machine for getting into a decision or making a decision. Okay, yes, neither think or make decision, program. That is the purpose of programming. Okay, program means set of instructions written in a sequence to solve a programming problem, and we are using programming language or languages. Here we use Python programming language. Yes, programming is the act or the process of doing programs, writing programs. And just before heading to program, you have to identify the problem first. Okay, identify the problem, then you have to understand the problem well, then you can analyze, you go for multiple solutions, and finally get into the solution solving in a logical manner. You must have a computational thinking, otherwise you cannot solve it efficiently. Okay, you cannot make it effective. Yes. Then Python. Why Python? The name comes from reptile Python. Okay, snake Python. It is flexible, of course, and language itself is so flexible and easy and simple. Okay, then it's an object-oriented, open source, object-oriented language, easy to learn language. It's a high-level programming language as well. Then it was developed by Guido van Rossum at 1991, a National Research Institute of Maths in Netherlands. Yes. Then owned by Python Software Foundation (PSF). Okay. Then based on ABC language, it's a general purpose programming language, and ABC language itself from basic. Okay, yes. Then features of Python. We have seen almost all the content. Yeah, yes, all the important points. Interactive, interpreted language. The source code is directly getting executed. Okay, yes. Then execution in the sense the process of getting the result. Okay, the process of getting the result. That's what execution running is. Yeah. Then object oriented, high level programming language, open source, portable, huge library, less time to develop programs. Yeah. Then GUI and garbage collection, extensible, compatible, scientific. Okay. So actually we have learned the basics of Python programming language. As this is the first class, you have to go very thoroughly through all these topics. Okay. This is going to be very interesting. Of course, I know you're very eager to learn Python programming language. Okay. But anyway, we have to learn the core, the basics of Python programming language first, right? The theory part of Python programming language. Otherwise, you may not be a good programmer, of course, in your future, right? Okay. So just go through all these topics. You must have the basic idea in your mind. Otherwise, you'll be incomplete. Okay. You'll be an incomplete programmer, of course. So next time we can look at what the advantages and implementation of Python programming language. Okay. So this is all for the time being. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. We can meet in the next video. Take care.